All right, so anyone ever heard of an agricultural raw materials, seeds, and animal feeds distribution manager?
It's a mouthful, right?
Yeah, it's a long one. You wouldn't think such a niche job existed.
Right. But it's crucial. Think about it. We're talking about the foundation of our entire agricultural system.
Yeah, if those seeds and feeds don't get where they need to go, shelves would be pretty bare. Our source material really emphasized the high demand for this role.
And for good reason. We rely on a steady supply of food.
Right, exactly. So it's not just about knowing your way around a farm, though, is
And
it?
no, no, not at all. Imagine a late shipment of fertilizer, right? It might not sound like a big deal.
But for a farmer, that could be a disaster.
Absolutely, especially within those critical planting and harvesting seasons. That delay, that could mean an entire harvest impacted, lost income for them, higher food prices for us. It's all connected.
Wow, talk about pressure. The source material definitely mentioned long hours, especially during those peak seasons.
Oh yeah, long hours are a given, especially when you factor in unexpected weather delays, fluctuating market prices, even international trade agreements coming into play.
Sounds like you need to be ready for anything.
Adaptability is key. And you're not just staring at spreadsheets all day either, although there's plenty of that too.
Got to keep track of all those seeds and feeds somehow.
Exactly. But you're also building relationships with farmers, suppliers, transportation companies.
So strong people skills are just as important as, say, knowing your logistics.
Absolutely. Strong negotiation skills, problem solving on the fly, thinking 10 steps ahead. Those are all essential in this field.
So it's this blend of strategic thinking and like really strong people skills. Fascinating. So the source material actually broke down a pretty clear career ladder for aspiring distribution managers, and it all starts with
The distribution assistant.
right,
Yeah.
entry level. What does that actually look like day to day?
Well, think of it as the foundation of your agricultural distribution education.
Mm.
Lots of hands-on experience. You're learning about inventory management, maybe even driving a forklift
It's a little
around.
glamorous, but hey, everyone starts somewhere, right? What's next?
From there, you climb to distribution coordinator, and that's where things start to pick up. You're responsible for making sure deliveries actually happen on schedule, coordinating trucking companies, optimizing routes, maybe even doing some basic data analysis to see where the bottlenecks are in the system.
Sounds like a role where your organizational skills and your ability to stay cool under pressure would be put to the test. All right, so we've worked our way up the ladder. What does it take to reach the top of this career mountain? And that brings us to the top rung, the distribution manager.
This is it. You're the orchestra conductor. Every aspect of the distribution process, it all flows through you.
So we're talking big picture stuff here.
You got it. Developing strategic plans, analyzing market trends, managing budgets.
And I'm guessing those relationships with suppliers and transportation partners, those are more important than ever.
Absolutely. You're building those long-term partnerships to ensure a stable and sustainable supply chain.
The source material mentioned hands-on experience, definitely, but also the growing role of technology in this field.
Oh, for sure. Gone are the days of just, clipboards and gut feelings. Today's distribution manager is using some pretty sophisticated software.
To track, like, shipments in real time,
You
things
know,
like that.
Exactly. Predict demand fluctuations, even optimize delivery routes based on, like, weather patterns and fuel prices.
So you could be, what, negotiating a contract with a seed supplier one minute, then analyzing data dashboards to optimize fertilizer distribution the next. It's a lot.
It is. It is. But that's what makes it exciting. Imagine using AI, for example, to analyze satellite imagery of crop fields. Right? You could predict yields, adjust your distribution networks ahead of time, prevent shortages or surpluses.
Wow. We're talking about some serious next level stuff, like almost revolutionizing the industry. Speaking of which, the source material had these really interesting example profiles, to kind of illustrate what someone at each stage of this career ladder might actually be doing day to day.
Yeah, those are great. They really give you a sense of, the human element behind all this.
For sure. So at the entry level, you have your distribution assistant.
Right. Making sure products are labeled correctly, stored safely, ready to be shipped out. It's a critical role. So especially when you're dealing with, time-sensitive stuff or things that are perishable.
And then you step into the shoes of a distribution coordinator, and suddenly you're juggling a million things at once.
Phone calls, emails, logistics platforms.
Troubleshooting delays, navigating road closures, whatever it takes to keep those deliveries on track.
Making sure those farmers get what they need exactly when they need it.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is. But then you reach that summit, you become the distribution manager. Yeah.
You've seen it all, done it all.
Right. You have that big picture vision. You're analyzing market data, forecasting future needs. It's a different kind of challenge.
Hmm. Okay, let's say our listener is like totally hooked by this career path. What should they be thinking about as they weigh their options? Well, first things first, they got to ask themselves, how passionate am I about agriculture?
Because this isn't just any job.
Exactly. It's about contributing to something essential, something that literally sustains us all. And that sense of purpose, it can really make a difference, especially when you're facing those long hours and unexpected challenges.
It's not just about logistics, it's about feeding the world.
Exactly.
What else? What else is essential for success in this field? Beyond that passion for agriculture, what else? What other qualities are essential for really thriving in this kind of role?
Well, you got to be detail oriented, right? But also adaptable. Like you're analyzing spreadsheets 1 minute, then boom, a shipment's delayed because of a storm.
Talk about a curveball. Exactly. You got to stay calm, be a strong communicator to handle those situations, and, always be thinking a few steps ahead. What could go wrong? How do I prevent that?
So you're never really off the clock, mentally at least. The source material also talked about networking and staying updated on industry trends. What would you tell someone just starting out? How do they get plugged in?
Networking is huge in this world.
Hmm.
Going to industry conferences, that kind of thing. It's not just about the presentations, it's about meeting people, right? Picking their brains over coffee, hearing about the real on-the-ground challenges they're facing. The source specifically mentioned the Institute for Supply Management and the International Federation of Purchasing and Supply Management.
Those are good ones to keep in mind.
Yeah, they offer some great resources, and it's a chance to connect with other professionals.
It's that old saying, right? It's not always what you know, but who you know.
Exactly, exactly.
And those certifications, like the Certified Supply Chain Professional, the CSCP, those are valuable too, right?
Absolutely. It shows you're serious, that you're committed to professional development, and in a competitive job market, that can make all the difference.
So for our listener who is feeling super inspired right now, ready to jump into the world of agricultural distribution, what's your one big piece of advice? Where should they start?
Honestly, get your hands dirty. Look for internships with agricultural companies. Even if it's just helping out at a local farm, volunteering with a food bank, something like that. There's no substitute for seeing how things work in the real world.
It's about connecting those dots, right? The stuff you read in a textbook or online, and then seeing how it actually plays out in real life.
Exactly.
Well, this has been fascinating. I feel like we've really unpacked a lot. This isn't just about logistics. It's about food security, global trends.
Sustainability.
And at the end of the day, it's about making a real difference.
It is. It's about feeding the world. And, for those who are passionate, adaptable, ready to put in the work,
It sounds like a career with a ton of potential.
it really does.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this deep dive. Until next time.